And we're back with Richard Reviews. Today we're reviewing a book for richardreviews.com slash richardreviews YouTube slash videos.com. This is for Richard's YouTube channel, Griffin Chestnut, which you can find all his online reviews for the books he reads and he reviews. Today we are reviewing one of Richard's favorite authors, Haruki Murakami. Richard has read all of his works, and Richard is a huge fan of this book. The book is Kafka on the Shore. This is one of Richard's favorite fiction novels from Haruki Murakami himself and in general. This book Richard obtained in around 2014 or 2015. And it is not the first Murakami book that Richard has read, but it is one of his favorites. I think he said it was his second favorite or third favorite of all of his books. This is by easily top 5 of all of Murakami, probably in the number 2 spot. You can find his number 1 spot for Murakami in the other uploads that Richard uploads on Murakami. Richard thought this book was amazing about the different fictionalized versions of a small sandstorm that kept people forming from different locations. He really loved the main character, and he really did relate to him from being sort of an outsider and an introvert when he's inside reading, and he had a tough time with his father. We're not going to get into too much spoilers here on Richard Reviews, but Kafka on the Shore is definitely one of the teenage turmoils. He's trying to escape his tyrannical father. He doesn't want to be doomed to repeat that, so he named himself Kafka from his favorite author. A great book, really, just visually a fantastic read. Let's take a look inside. If we look inside here, the piece itself is very clean. Richard takes really good care of his books. As you can tell, it's a clean piece. It's got good shine. There's the shine right there on the eyeball, from north to south, left to right. Okay. On the front says author of the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle, another good book from Murakami that Richard has read and also reviewed on this channel. As powerful as the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle. Richard also loved the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle. Not as much as this book. He liked this book more than a Wind-Up Bird Chronicle. But Wind-Up Bird Chronicle is up there. Now let's take a look at the piece. The piece is clean. Takes good care of it. I believe this is the authentic John Gall cover, which is praised about in many book clubs. Kafka on the Shore, Murakami, vintage collection right here. You can see it, vintage collection. Now let's look at the price on the back. We got some glute over here, a little steel. You can see cover designed by John Gall, and exquisite beauty marks that are left present from the deterioration of continuity. As you can tell here, Richard paid a solid $15 for this. $15 US, Canadian is $18.95. Irrelevant at the time. This is Murakami himself. There is the author. Let's just take a good look at him, for he is the master behind this exquisite and vintage novel. Richard rates this book very highly. It deals with continuity and teen angst, which Richard really relates to. If we can look inside, we'll get a glimpse of inside the piece, which is very clean and very brimwall. As you can see, this is the English version. I believe it was firstly translated sometime in the 1990s. But this is a clean piece. Richard takes very good care of his books, and a lot of pride goes into his collection. Okay, more acclaim for Haruki Murakami. Great stuff, as you can tell. This is an original piece. You can't find pieces like this that often. Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. So this piece was basically, this is translated from the Japanese by Peter Gabriel, okay? He's a rock star in the U.S. who came out with a fantastic song. Oh, the boy named Crow. He came out with a fantastic song, My Body is a Cage. This was published in Japanese in 2002 and translated into English 3 years later. The book itself is sort of a literary puzzle with some time travel, hidden histories, and readers' delight with discovering mind-bending fallacies and coincidences that do fit together. There is a narrator who basically talks about every plot. The old man has this technique where he can go back into the future and discuss certain times and abilities with cats that he is able to talk to. The cats do play a major part in the story. The cats sort of live dangerous lives, and they formulate different prophecies to come true. This is Haruki Murakami's most ambitious piece, because the two characters end up tying together, and they're vowing for control of the neglected, fantastic connections. Murakami really does shine with this. As you can tell, he has possible supernatural personal experiences since he was born in 1949. He grew up during the World War II era, when American occupation of Japan was very full and very high. It features biological attacks, which do have shady conspiracies that blur historical periods. Murakami is a avid fan of music and pop culture, which do come up genuinely through notoriety in different spectrums of time in this book. This book right here. This book. This is a good piece. Anybody looking for this piece, I agree that you search it, because the main character hangs out in a public library where he spends his times delving over these books, and he befriends the librarian, a common reoccurring factor in Murakami. Murakami is he's just a genius when it comes to bending the line between reality and world of dreams. He's also an avid shirt collector. Murakami wears a lot of shirts in real life and in fantasy. Nothing to do with bunnies, everything to do with Coca-Cola products and the various natures that one would wish to be part of some sort of odd worldly distraction. Maybe lovesick from some decent cat souls, which formulate different children's hospitals that they can catch the bus at 3 in the morning. This is what Murakami truly does, and he does it well. So that's this for this mission of Kafka on the Shore. The piece, as you can tell, we're going to look at the piece real quick. We're going to find right here, during his wild high school days, his grandfather was always the one who'd show up at the local precinct, bowing apologetically to the police, and they'd release Hiroshima into his custody. That's on page 233. Beautiful. Just beautiful. We'll get a page count before we wrap it up. We're going to stop on 451. Yeah, we're going to round it up to 470. That's a quality piece right there. Quality piece. Thank you for watching. This is Richard Reviews.